Okay. We've just finished IEM Rio. Navi with a comeback. Clutch. Sick. It was great. Finals were good. Everybody had a good time at home. For once again, it took place in a stadium with barely anyone in it. And I'm going to write an article about this, actually, but I'm just kind of sick of it. I'm going to talk about why, if we must go to Brazil, if we must, and I don't think we should, but if we must, it can't be in Rio. Like, enough with fucking Rio. Please, enough with Rio. It's shit for a variety of reasons that I'm going to get into. So, let's just start with the game stuff. In fact, no, before we even get to this game stuff, let's just talk about what happened at the Rio Major, okay? Things I talked about before, right? And I did an article about it over at Deserto at the time, because I'm the guy. I'll just say this stuff, right? The last major... at IEM Rio, when we had the major out there, it was a disgrace. It was a fucking disgrace. And I don't just mean it was a disgrace because of the way the style that was played or the eventual winners. Everything about it was a fucking disgrace. We had players getting spat on. We had people not coming into the venue. We had like one of the biggest streamers in the world saying the world finals of Counter-Strike aren't for the world. They're only for Brazil, only for Brazilians, only Brazilian opinions matter, and no one else can understand what it is to be Brazilian because we're all just diabolical gringos, which isn't a racist term apparently, even though it only applies to, white non-Brazilians. Isn't that weird? Anyway, there was endless crowd cheating. It was a fucking disgrace. It was an embarrassment of a major. And I wrote an article about it, right? Saying the most hyped major was held hostage by the Gaules show. And by the way, ESL gave him all of this power, right? At the Intel Extreme Masters major event, a Valve event. They gave him all of this power. He said all these things, and he threw ESL under the bus anyway. So why this guy continues to be worked with? Let's just, again, reminder of Gaules' history. When he's covered CS events as a co-streamer, he has accused players of cheating. He has interviewed players about those players who cheated, whipped people up into a frenzy. Those Chaos players, those young Chaos players like Leaf, etc., they still get threatened by Brazilian fans to this day. And it's because of this guy. That was disqualifying. I imagine, by the way, if I publicly accused a young player of cheating and he got a single solitary death threat from anybody that could be associated with me or my community, I probably would be, oh, Richard, you're a bully, you're a terrible person. No, we don't say that about Gaules. Do you know why? Because this is the dirty little secret that Brazilian fans are going to have to just reconcile. They don't understand. They don't care. You are numbers. The only reason people pander to Brazil is for the massive numbers. It's not because they love that 10% of your fan base that fuck up every event we have in that country. It's not because they like Gaules as a streamer. They just want more engagement, and you will give it to them, because if somebody says, I love Brazil, I will come to Brazil, millions of you fucking post flags saying, yes, you love Brazil, this is great, this is awesome. That's all they're doing, by the way. Nobody thinks any of this behaviour is good. And yes, I will add the caveat that I shouldn't have to add, it's not all fans, but it is weird that it happens every single time we do these events. Remember Major being spat on, and then fans writing him a letter saying, don't hate us all. It's like, I don't know, can we stop doing it? Is it possible? So anyway, we have another IEM in Rio. Once again, there's a commonality there. The atmosphere is amazing. Amazing for the Furia event. Just amazing. Drums, singing, we love it. Great. Passionate fan base, feels like the soccer game. Wow, this is cool. There was booze, though. I'm going to show some solidarity with Brazilians here in a moment. There's Rounder Banks in the chat.
Go and sign that one down there. Making it through to the grand finals, it's Mouse!
So, booze for Torzy, right? He's signing the camera, booze for Torzy. By the way, spoiler, I don't have a problem with that. You buy your ticket, you go to the venue, you get to boo. You get to boo. Is it bad sportsmanship? Yeah. You see, the thing that doesn't seem to have translated well to certain fan bases, all the people who want to be ultras, esports actually isn't like that. It's okay to be nationalistic, I suppose. It's okay to want your team to do well. It's okay to have favourites. It's okay to just pick a team that wins, like all them shithouse Astralis fans that all support Team Liquid or something now, right? It's easy, just be a Glory supporter, just be the Man United fans of esports, but it doesn't matter. But you pick that team. But here's the difference with esports. The difference with esports is that there is this general idea that when you go to an event, you will watch multiple teams, you will watch multiple games. It's baked into how we do it. We can't do it like sports yet, if ever, if it would even be a good idea. By the way, one of the reasons the Overwatch League was a total disaster was this concept that what we'll do is we'll have one game in a stadium and everyone will come and watch and everyone will buy tickets and you watch that one game and then you go away. No, the esports fan that doesn't pay for anything ironically wants value for money, and the value for money that they want is you get to watch multiple games. And so most places around the world, esports fans, they appreciate going to get multiple games over the course of the day. Nothing better than getting a ticket and you get 3 best of 3s. And if the stadium's nice, you get to get up, walk around, meet people, you go to a sign-in, you buy a t-shirt, you buy a hot dog, you sit down, you watch a series, it's mega, you get up, you take a piss, you buy a beer, you buy another hot dog, you sit down, you watch another series, it's mega, then your team are playing and now you're invested, maybe you change seats, maybe you move around, oh wow, that's where my boys are, there's the Vitality fans all singing, I'll see if I can get over there, can I get up? That's what an esports event is like. That's why they're good. That's why they're worth going to. So the attitude, therefore, that comes with that experience is that even if you're not invested in the game that's going on, even if you don't like the team that's going on, you can boo. Of course you can boo. But generally, you'll show appreciation. You'll have a bit of class. When you lose, we all win some, we all lose some. But crucially as well, the other thing is you're going to show up. You're going to understand, well, I got my ticket, I got the final, I still get to watch some good CS. That just doesn't work with Brazil, and in particular in Rio, and we've seen it multiple fucking times now. Like, how many more times are we going to, have it happen and have all the excuses come out? Now, as I said, I don't consider the boos necessarily to be a problem. It's indicative of a bigger problem within the Brazilian fan base and their culture and their approach to CS and how it's antithetical to how we typically do things. But that's also fine. It's in their backyard. If they want to boo, let them fucking boo. But I also have to believe that there are other parts of Brazil where this wouldn't happen as prevalently. I know a little bit about Brazil, as I've talked about. Rio is a place that's very typically nationalistic. Most other major Brazilian cities don't like Rio. They think Rio looks down on them. Actually, Rio's just it's sort of like the London or the Paris, right? It's where those snooty cosmopolitans go. It's where there's the big wealth disparity. So a lot of Brazil don't like Rio. Also, Brazil is fucking massive. It's super hard for everyone else in Brazil to go to fucking Rio. So obviously when you have it in Rio all the fucking time, you're only getting people from Rio. And as we've proven time and time again, that doesn't make for a good vibe. Now Reddit, terrible crowd etiquette. When the casters host congratulated Mouse, the Brazilians booed him. Thank God this doesn't happen often in other majors. Super unsporting and disrespectful. Remember, I'm okay with the boos. I'm okay. They'd just beaten Furia, by the way. They'd beaten the hometown heroes. Yeah, you're going to get booed, right? But Reddit didn't like it this time. So that's just how it is. Also, I'm a UFC fan. I've seen those fans boo fucking Brazilian legends for losing. It's mental. It really is crazy when they have those Rio events. It's just so wild. But anyway, I didn't mind that. Others did. Reddit did. I'm not going to harp on too much about it because of that. Then, this new story came out while we were in the midst of this, while we were watching fucking, empty seats at a fucking IEM final in one of the major cities in the world. And it was this. You can see here, the Rio de Janeiro government wants to host another CS major by 2027. Brazilian officials are working to get another Counter-Strike major to the country. In an interview with Dust2BR, Games and Esports coordinator from the Rio de Janeiro government revealed they are entered into negotiations with the major CS2 tournament operators to make that happen. They're aiming to reach their goal by 2027. We are opening conversations with all the event organisers and the objective, the dream of Rio de Janeiro, and we are working towards this to have a CS2 major in the next 3 years. Absolutely not. Fuck no. Valve, you cannot allow this. You cannot allow the majors to ever be sullied again with this bullshit. You cannot. It cannot ever go back to Rio. There are so many other cities it can go to. And I'm even going to propose a Brazilian one. Give it, if you have to have an event in Brazil, if you have to have a major, especially in Brazil, Sao Paulo, please. Sao fucking Paulo, please. It's no more Rio. Rio is done. Fuck Rio. I'm done with Rio. Everybody knows, who's ever been to Brazil, that Sao Paulo is a fucking far more chill than Rio. It's much more of a party city. It's got all of the heritage. It's even got the better fucking football clubs. It's also easier for people to get to. So if you are going to come to Brazil, can we go to Sao Paulo and fuck Rio? I'm so tired of it. The crowds stink. Access stinks. By the way, I heard that when you fly in to the airport, the fucking hotel that the players go to is still like a fucking hour and a half away by car. It's not even that it's like super easy to access for fucking anybody. Sao Paulo, please. So anyway, I'm going to show you a clip. This was made by a regular, whose name I won't say in case he doesn't want to be associated with the madness that will no doubt ensue from this video, right? I know you're not going to believe this, right? I know you're not going to believe this. Okay, well, it was Mosifer. So, Mosifer did this bit. So, don't hate. I've double-checked it. It should be good. But anyway, I cannot believe you people. Like, ESL are still going to work with Gaules. And do you know what he's done? He has fucking thrown them under the bus again. On stream. I couldn't believe it. I had one of the few Brazilian fans that I have message me. He goes, Gaules has done it again. Gaules has gone on stream and blamed ESL for the empty seats. He's blamed ESL. Your partner, your core streaming partner, ESL, that you keep working with, so you can fucking pander to Brazilian fans, so you can have fake fucking numbers when you've got Riyadh money. What are we still doing this for? And I was like, nah, it's got to be a mistranslation, homie. And so we ran it through an AI and we got a transcript and I read it and I was like, it does seem like he's saying that. And then Mosfa said, I'll run it through another AI. And what I can do with my AI is I can have Gaules speak English and get him to talk. And he sent me this cursed version where Gaules' mouth was moving in line with the English. And I said, I can't have that one. That's ridiculous. That's too scary. I can't show that on Twitch. So now we have another one that isn't cursed, but is still cursed, right? So anyway, this is the AI translation, so some of it will be a bit spoopy, but you'll understand where it gets to the bit, and I've double-checked it. Again, it's AI, so one of the things that Brazilians always love to do is they say, oh, no, you can't translate us with AI, you can't translate us with Google Translate. A Brazilian told me he said this, so checkmate on that one, because I'm sick of fucking hearing that one. Oh, no, we didn't say the thing. That's a literal translation. It's divorced from context. Yeah, all of these AIs do every other language. Portuguese? Nah, fuck it. Doesn't work on Portuguese for some reason. I'm sick and tired of your lies. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, let's check in with the Gau.
Look, right, for you to see. This arena. It has some peculiarities, man. This arena, I don't like these red chairs, man. The red chair draws too much attention. And what I still think, Pocão, I've said it many times, but the organization, they think we don't know anything, and, man, because like this, the big issue at these events, especially in our region and isolated areas, is the ticket sales format. You know, I've said this a million times. You buy in advance, you get a benefit for buying all 3 days. I don't know if I want to go on Friday, but buy it. It's 3 days. I don't know if I want to go on Sunday, I just want to see the day Brazil plays. No. But buy everything, you know? Buy everything. And then, on a day like today, you who want to watch Navi and Mo's in Rio de Janeiro, you can't because there are no tickets. Then you want to go to a specific game. But I'm only going to this game. So today's ticket sales format is very milking. It was sold out yesterday. It's sold out today. But what do you want to do? You want to force the guy who bought to come? Then you're crazy, you know? You're crazy. Gal, it's a shame the guy bought and didn't come. The guy bought, it's his right. Now, the organizer who knows this will happen is very milking not to change this because there's a plan B, there's a plan C, put more tickets for sale for today. Well, the Brazilian team didn't make it. Let's leave an extra ticket office with popular print and stuff like that, right? Present, isn't it? Are you going to blame the guy who bought and is upset for losing yesterday? He doesn't want to see CS. Today you're going to blame this guy? You're not, right? You live in Wonderland, you who think the guy is obliged, after a loss like yesterday, to come here to honor Navi and Maus, right? The guy comes if he wants, if he likes, if he feels like it, right? Perfect, gal. It's not even the issue. I called for us. Do you think of going today, my brother? If I were you, I would go to the beach. Man, today there's good sun. You came from Minas Gerais, right? Spent money. You're in Rio de Janeiro, you know? Yeah. But then, gal, the guys don't have to sell everything. The guys have to sell properly, you know? Sell properly. The guys have to stop thinking that the guy wants to go to one game. Today you already see sports arenas that the guys make. Actually, the first game, we saw it in Malta, right? There were different fans for each game. So, sometimes the guy wants to watch the first semifinal of the day. Sometimes the guy wants to watch the second semifinal of the day, right? Sometimes the guy wants to watch the final of the championship, regardless of who is in the final. The ticket sales format today is bad. That's all. You can sell everything and you can sell everything twice. So, actually, you know, they still leave money on the table, for sure. Man, and then even, here it fits. I think 18,000, the maximum it fits. It stays. Guys, here in the upper ring of the upper, that could be gathered below. It could be visually prettier too, right? And rearrange, you know? The guys don't have crowd control, you know, man? Inclusive. I think the most beautiful party we've had at IEM so far was the relocation. Relocation? It's true. It was that beautiful party in here. True.
Me, I'd go to the beach. Wicked. Cheers, mate. Really glad you're my fucking business partner. You know, Brazil lost. It's a nice day outside. I'd go to the beach. It's like, look, he's got a kernel of a point. Yeah, it's not like a traditional sports event. You might not want to watch every game, but they do come bundled. But, I mean, and you might get a discount. You might get more games. But if you know in your heart of hearts you're only going to stay for the Brazilian game, just buy tickets for that day. It's super easy. And the other point, why doesn't it happen at any other event? Why was Antwerp packed to the fucking rafters without any Belgian representation? Why is Katowice always full, irrespective of whether Virtus Pro is there or not? And they're not even Polish anymore. Why does Cologne always have an insane fucking atmosphere to the point it's dubbed the Cathedral of Counter-Strike? But, of course, if they moved it out of the Lanxness, it wouldn't be the Cathedral of Counter-Strike, because really it's about the Lanxness and not anywhere else. Why doesn't it happen anywhere else? Why is it only happening in Rio? Why has it happened in Rio nearly every time? Why has it happened in Valorant as well? I just don't get it. Like, other esports fans don't operate this way. And so it just seems to be like a fundamental incompatibility at this point. So I was super glad with the bit of news that we got. And that was this. Again, of course, it will be total gibberish because there isn't the technology to translate Portuguese doesn't exist, evidently. But IEM Rio will not be held in 2025. Oh, thank Christ. Thank fucking Christ. Oh, it's over. Oh, thank God. Please never host an event there ever again. Please, 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 please. No more CS in Rio. As I said, it's not even a Brazil thing at this point. Rio just fucking sucks for CS. It's been terrible ever fucking since its inception. And this is just great news. I'll read the report, translated from Portuguese, so obviously don't trust any of it. After 3 years, Brazil should not receive a CS event from the organiser next season, meaning ESL. IEM Rio will not have an edition in 2025. Present on the ESL Pro 2 calendar in the last 3 seasons, the competition played in Rio will not be held next year, and the chances of another Brazilian city receiving a CS2 championship from the organiser in 2025 are virtually nil. The information was ascertained by Dust2 Brazil. There was interest from the city in continuing to host the competition next year, but ESL chose not to do so. Which is quite instructive, if you ask me, because for all of... And by the way, I'm also just going to do something that... This is probably a bit cheeky, but whatever. Is weird how you interviewed that guy from the government who said he wanted to have a major in Rio, but also around about the same time you're publishing a story that ESL absolutely don't want to have an event in Rio in 2025. Almost as if you were fed that as a little fact. You know, weird how that works. But anyway... It's not happening, and it was ESL's choice. ESL has not commented until the time of publication. If they do, the text will be updated. So no IEM Rio in 2025, and it was ESL's choice. Now, this is where it gets spicy. Oh, you thought it was over. You thought we were ending. Wrong. This is where it gets spicy. You see, because I'm Richard Lewis, a.k.a. the Kwisatz Haderach of esports journalism, I decided to use my super network of people that obviously know about these events and what happens at these events. And I've been busy. Obviously, I was working that Dota event. By the way, I saw a few of you in the chat. First time chatters saying you had a good time and you like my work. Thank you very much. Please follow the stream and stick around. You'll enjoy the content here as well. There's not really... I mean, okay, I'm a bit more mental on my stream, I suppose, actually. But you'll probably like it still anyway. It's mental in the right way. Anyway, I was busy doing the event, and at the same time as doing the event, I'm working on this massive investigative piece about Bleed, where I've got so much, it's fucking, it's like it's going to take me... It's going to take me so long to write it up. But anyway, I'm there. I think I've got the totality of the story and everything I need, and it's as crazy as you would think. But I also checked in and I wanted to ask about how it was because, as you know, one of the things that happened last time they went to Rio, and indeed previous other events, is they had to warn everyone specifically about, like, security, don't go here, it's dangerous. And one of the things I've said is, look, like, this isn't a crazy thing to say, guys. Rio has a lot of crime. And maybe it's not a great destination for a bunch of nerds that are under-socialized. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that. Look, I'm sad that there's crime out there. I'm sad that crime ravages so many people's lives in Brazil, particularly in Rio. But should we not maybe avoid places that are, having high crime rates? Now, I know that's xenophobic to say that. I'm sorry. I'm such a xenophobic. I know that, right? But I just don't ever want to wake up one day and the first thing I have to do as a journalist is write about a player that got hurt or worse. I feel like I've already done too much of that in 20 years. Way more than I would have liked. Writing obituaries is never nice. And, I think we have a obligation when we run tournaments to try and make things as safe for everyone. Now, by the way, I wouldn't have events in London. I wouldn't. I might not have an event in downtown Chicago either. By the way, just for the people, for the Brazilian fans that are going to send me pictures of the Twin Towers coming down because they think I'm American, I don't think we should have events in America as a rule because their visa system's fucked up. There's one in the chat. The place where a player got hurt was Malta. Little bit different. The player that got hurt attacked a Maltese citizen. I haven't really thought that one through. Config attacked someone. So, anyway, it's one of the reasons why I worry about Israeli players going to Riyadh. Independent security assessments have said it might not be safe for them. They were given a security detail. I've heard so many crazy things about the Israeli attendees at these Riyadh events and Gamers 8 and the Esports World Cup and the extra layer of security that they have to put on for them. And it's like, if you're doing that, you're admitting there's a problem. And by the way, if someone's really determined, security might get to react, but it ain't gonna be like fucking Clint Eastwood in that fucking movie about him trying to stop the president getting murked, So anyway, I managed to acquire documents, and I'm gonna put these in the article that I'm gonna write up. But these documents are basically what they gave players to be, keep yourself safe in Brazil. And they did this fucking insane. I mean, like, the things they're writing down are so crazy that you're like, why are we having the event here in the first place? This seems mental. So I'm not talking like just a little bit of general advice. It's handbook. It's like a handbook full of this stuff. And I'm just like, guys, like, what are we doing? So here you go. It starts with Brazilian hospitals are noted for having a relatively low standard of care and may have few staff who can communicate in English. Public ambulances typically take patients to the nearest public hospital and may not provide the level of care required. Additionally, they could be delayed due to heavy traffic. So that's just a great start there. Then also traveling with medication. If you have an existing medical condition, it's the law in Brazil that you have to have a doctor's letter to say that you need the medication. Otherwise, they can confiscate the medication from you at best, or potentially charge you with possession of a controlled substance. Then, and we'll expand this because this is where it gets more relevant. Safety and security while traveling to Brazil. To reduce the likelihood of being exposed to crime and ensure your safety while traveling to Brazil, follow the advice below. By the way, you will notice that even though this was what was handed out for Rio, they're saying all of Brazil. And by the way, Rio is, it's not the only city with like high crime rates and crazy shit, but it's one of them. It's right up there. Safety and security. Make multiple copies of critical documents, such as your passport. That's called forgery where I'm from. I can't make a copy of my passport. What do you mean? Copy of my passport? Of what? Like a photocopy? Because guess what? That doesn't get me in at the border, mate. I have one passport. Like, what does that mean? Right? Anyway, make multiple copies of critical documents, such as your passport, vaccination records. We can't be on that in 2024. Medical documents in case they are misplaced. Minimize the number of high-value items you bring to Brazil where possible when packing, considering keeping valuable items like electronics, hard drives, and travel documents on your person or in your carry-on luggage to reduce the risk of losing them in checked baggage. They're like saying if you check shit in your bags, there's a higher chance they get stolen. That'd be wicked if I wasn't an esports player. That'd be wicked if I didn't have to bring a fucking keyboard, mouse, and fuck knows what else. Use lightweight folders to organise your documents. I mean, that's just good admin. I don't know what that's. I don't know how that stops crime or whatever. Mark your checked luggage with something easily identifiable to reduce the chance of someone mistakenly. I'm going to do big air quotes either side of the thing. Hang on, that's my hand. That's that hand. I can do it properly. Mistakenly. There you go. That looked pretty baller. Someone mistakenly picking it up. All right, that's the end of that then, right? Well, no, it's not the end of that. There's pages of this. There really is. Hotel safety and security. Surely I'm safe at the hotel, lads. No, wrong. You're not. You're never safe. The hotel should be considered a safe and secure location. That's a hell of a should, isn't it? But basic security measures should still be followed during your stay. For example, once you've checked into the hotel and gained access to your room, locate the nearest emergency exits and familiarize yourself with the hotel's emergency procedures. Use the hotel safe to store valuables like laptops. I've got to put my laptop in a fucking safe. I can't even just leave it in my hotel room. When using hotel amenities such as gyms, don't leave valuables unattended. Refrain from posting information about your stay on social media, especially your room number. Why would that be? Why is that an issue? What are you implying there? Okay, right, fine. Maintain situational awareness when leaving the hotel. Avoid openly displaying wealth, such as wearing jewelry or headphones. Headphones, not headphones. That's not wealth, is it? Come on. Can't wear headphones. Travel in groups when possible, especially at night. Be aware of potential scammers outside the hotel. If approached by a stranger offering to sell you something or asking you to follow them, politely disengage and walk away. If you have any concerns, report them to hotel security and inform your ESL manager or player manager. Getting around. The journey between the hotel and the arena is short and can easily be done on foot. Glad walking's so safe then. As previously mentioned, the hotel is the Grand Hyatt is the furthest hotel from the arena and should be reached via a shuttle bus or private taxi. The journey's not far, should take 10 minutes. Only use registered taxis. Do not share taxis with strangers or with people already inside the vehicle. Avoid using public transport, as transport hubs can often be hotspots for acquisitive crime, and organised gangs have been known to rob tour buses. Can't even get a fucking... right, taxis registered, only use the ones that come to the hotel. Don't use public transport under any circumstances. Right, gotcha. This sounds wicked. This sounds really good. Then, driving standards and road maintenance quality in Brazil are poor. Avoid self-driving and be extra cautious when... You can't even hire a car. Don't hire a car. All right, okay. No public transport. Don't hire a car. Can't walk. Registered taxis only. Watch out for unregistered taxis. Cool. When travelling at night, don't be alarmed if your driver does not stop at a red light. Carjackings and robberies have been known to occur when vehicles stop in such situations. Red lights are off! There's only 3 lights! And now I sound like Jean-Luc Picard. Look like him too. I can't stop at a red light! Be cautious. Be cautious when using GPS apps, as they may inadvertently direct you into a favela. Why would they do that? Why would the apps do that? Why would they do this? I can't even trust GPS. It's like that meme, trust no one, especially yourself, except it's not me shooting me in the back of the head. It's a fucking GPS app. What's happening? Out of bounds areas. The following areas are considered high-risk locations and should be avoided at all times. All favelas located in Rio. Off the table. Remote areas, such as the mountain trail leading to Christ the Redeemer. Criminals are known to target hikers in these areas, so use transport methods like the cable car. Right? Can't even walk to see Christ. All beaches should be considered off limits at night and evenings, as they become hotspots for acquisitive and often violent crime. Any area containing a political gathering or protest must be avoided. Well, you fucking sold me on Rio, guys. I don't know about that. By the way, there's more. There's stuff about LGBT in there and how, like, it's a good place and they have a pride parade, but there are some conservatives who maybe don't. It's like, oh, my fucking God. Is this enough now? No more Rio, please. Imagine sending this to players coming to your event. Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. Just no public transport. Be careful when using GPS to navigate, because if you do take a wrong turn, you might die. Don't go to the beach in evenings. Don't walk around at night. Generally stay in the hotel. By the way, you can't stay in the hotel. You do have to leave the hotel to do your job, the sole purpose for why you're here. But that's fine, because there'll probably be a shuttle. Also, the shuttle won't stop at red lights, because occasionally shuttles are known to get targeted and fucking jacked by organised crime members. Anyway, have a wonderful time at our tournament. Oh, by the way, also, all that stuff you're travelling with, don't leave it unattended at any time. Wrap the fucking mouse around your shoulders like it's a fucking sweater. Carry your laptop, but don't display any wealth either, because if you display wealth, that's really, really bad. And you want to know what's mad about it all, right? You want to know what's mad about it all? As soon as this video goes on YouTube and I tweet it out, someone's going to say this is xenophobic. And by the way, all major cities are like this, and you wouldn't dare say this about an American city. And you wouldn't say, mate, we don't issue a fucking manual for, like, I don't know, the Birmingham Major in By the way, Birmingham's a fucking shithole. Birmingham's a shithole. Everyone in Birmingham knows it's a shithole. We all know it's a shithole. We're not even the second city anymore. We've just given up. It's pathetic. Our fucking local council's bankrupt. A council going bankrupt. We walk around the city now. It's pathetic. It's sad. It's just a joke. But you know what? When people go to events in Birmingham, you don't have to say, if you get a taxi, it might not stop at a red light. We 100% stop at a red light. The worst thing that happens to you in Birmingham if you stop at a red light is someone taps on the window and can I wash it for you? It's a bit different. I've got one more. This was sent to the people in attendance, like, at the event. Right. Safety in Rio. We would like to stress what we had mentioned upon your arrival, that we're more than able to support you with any questions you have about travelling at your leisure. We have a group of local security ready to provide advice and in some cases escort you. Now, I got told they hired guards, which some people said were armed. Like, if you want to go out and see any of Rio, you have to maybe take these dudes. Like, I don't know, guys. Like, okay, it's cool that ESL is providing all these safety measures, but do you know what else you can do? Just don't have your event in Rio. Just don't have your event in a place where it's fucking necessary. And I've heard a million times, it's overblown, it's overblown. The crime stats are fucking crazy for Rio. And also as well, people go, but the crime stats are crazy in London. A lot of the crime stats in London, particularly in the inner cities, and once again, no doubt this will be problematic to point out, a lot of it is gang-on-gang violence. Which you're going to go, oh, but Richard, like, what are you saying? He's saying that's okay. No, what I am saying is it's very hard for a civilian to tumble into that shit. I'm not saying you can't get mugged in London. Of course you fucking can. I'm not saying you can't get killed in London. Of course you fucking can. London's also a shithole. I wouldn't particularly want events there either. But I am very tired of downplaying that, like, oh no, Rio's a super cool place. But by the way, you have to follow about 40 rules just to survive. Like, it's just ridiculous. Bath would be lovely, unironically. Bath's a good place. Just to put a pin in the Brazil thing as a little palate cleanser. Furia got absolutely battered, of course, as we now know, at the event itself. In the aftermath, obviously, you know, because they had a hell of a run. Fallen did an interview with HLTV, and he said, "I proposed a game too fast for my own taste." Right? That game, CS2, you fucking washed. And on that note, I think we can all agree, enough's enough. No more Rio. ESL's made the right call by not having an event in 2025 in Rio. I urge you, on behalf of all the people of São Paulo, give them a chance. São Paulo is... Let me check it. Right, here we go. Look. Look at this. It says São Paulo has a lower homicide rate. It has a homicide rate of 6.1 per 100,000 inhabitants, whereas Rio's rate is 12.6 per 100,000. It's easier to get to. There's supposedly fewer gangs operating in São Paulo. It's a notorious party place. Loads of people go there. I've had friends go there for, like, you know, New Year's Eve and stuff. São Paulo. I'll end on this. Right? If we're going to continue to do this in esports, can one tournament operator agree on a murder rate that's acceptable? Publicly, please. Can you tell me what's the murder rate cutoff? Right? I'm giving you an olive branch. For me, if London's about 1.5 per 100,000 and that's considered a dangerous place, realistically, how high should we go? But, 6.1, if that's what we all have to agree on so we can have events, fine. I'm meeting you halfway, just not 12. 12 seems unacceptable. 6 is half of 12. Maybe this is what... Maybe we can all come together and agree on this. I don't know. I think quoting murder rates for esports events is insane, but here we are. And as we know, there are no murders in Riyadh because when the state does it, it is not murder. Da-da-da-da-da-da.